Good morning. Today is the 25th of November, 2022. I'm rewatching from the beginning the series I just concluded a couple of days ago, ANDOR. Um, what a very special show it was. I actually have, season it was, I actually have a couple of other series which I am watching, and I tend to like to binge watch. Andor, I couldn't, of course, binge watch. It was coming out weekly, and every week I was like, more, more. I really, really enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, just to finish up what I was starting to say, these other series which I'm watching, and I haven't seen them before, and I'm very interested in watching them, of course. But I actually want to watch Andor now as a binge. It was fantastic the way the weekly, because I haven't been on the edge of my seat per episode per week for a long time, for a series that captivated me the way this one did. What it got me thinking about, though, interestingly enough, is it seems that those who like it love it, but it also seems to not have caught on with the public at large the way other series in this Star Wars genre has. I personally, well, maybe, I personally think that it has something to do with the quality of previous Star Wars incarnations. Yes, I'm talking about you, Obi-Wan. And perchance that is what turned people off. But on the other hand, maybe it's also the genre itself which they were going for. Personally, I think they were going for a quasi cyberpunk, although it's not quite cyberpunk. It's certainly in that genre for my taste, but it certainly has strong elements of neo noir, and that, of course, well, you don't know, but that is my genre. I mean, I absolutely love the intrigue, the man against the system. I don't know. It's a very captivating for me genre, and I believe and thoroughly think that Andor is in that genre. What it got me thinking of is, believe it or not, 40 years ago when I was 18, yikes, yes, I had darker hair back then. It was a little longer. I was a lot younger. And I had, back in those days, um, critics would get the movies, before the release date, and then they would give their, of course, their review and call it a day. Anyways, there was a show that I was, watching the news, and of course, then came on the review, and I was watching the review like this. It's like, no, what? Really? Okay, let's go. The review was on Blade Runner, the original movie, and I got to see this. It was being released the next day. Phoned up all my friends. Back then we had I was gonna say rotisserie, rotary phones. Hey guys, I couldn't get anyone interested in it. It is what it is. Yes, when it came to like the Indiana Jones, which came out a year before, everyone was there, all in. Even Escape from New York, another one of my favorite movies from a couple of years before. Blade Runner, I could get people to see. For this one, not so much. But it's okay. I'm there to see a movie. I'll see it by myself. No props. I got into the theater, and to my surprise, it was certainly, I'm guessing, if I can recall correctly and vividly, it had maybe an audience of a third, maybe. The audience, the theater wasn't certainly packed, and it was okay. It didn't matter to me, and I was captivated from get go because I'm there to see the movie anyways, and it looks like there's other people that want to see it with me, obviously. And I was intrigued. You've got to imagine, if you can imagine, that this is the original template for now modern Sci-fi, in my opinion. The neon, the world building, uh, and certain elements of it. Star Wars does it with a lot more pizzazz, flash, battle. This movie concentrated on the character. It was, if you, everyone of course now it's apparently a cult classic as well deservedly, but back then it had a very small, especially for the theatrical release, a very small audience and an appreciation, which of course took 40 years before everyone's now sort of copying and being influenced. Okay, well, influenced, paying homage to this movie. Um, Andor reminds me of how I felt and what I saw, the public reaction similarly. Apparently, it's not doing that fantastic as far as audience. Be that as it may, I'm surprised. People, one of the criticisms which I picked up on was people, it's so slow. It's so slow. You're kind of missing the point. You need the slow. And I love the way they did it with the 3 episode arcs. With, yeah, it starts slow, the build up, the climax, and then we start again. And it's all following the journey of Andor. Another thing, people thought he was too boring. How could he be the star of such a boring character, be the star of the show? Well, again, to me, they're kind of missing the point. The point is, he's your average guy. He's your ordinary person making his way through life, and everything gets challenges are thrown at him, of which he then has to overcome. And again, they did it brilliantly as far as I was concerned. The arcs were engaging. I couldn't wait for the next one. I didn't care if it was going to be slow. I liked the build up. Not like, unlike Dexter in Blade Runner. He was out to get the replicants, and by gum he did, or did he? It's a very, I loved the show, and I would really hope that other people hear about it and pick it up, watch it. I think it'll be worth your while if you're looking for the pizzazz, the flash, the set piece fight sequences and all that kind of stuff. Not for you. It is in here. It is still a Star Wars show, by the way. It's just a different take on Star Wars, and that is what I appreciated, to tell the truth. It reeked Star Wars. It was absolutely in that world, but it was a different take on that world. All of a sudden, the Empire is no longer the gang that couldn't shoot straight. They could shoot straight. They were menacingly. It wasn't just the Emperor who was a menace. His minions, and it wasn't just Darth Vader. No, it was actually the true believers or the grunts in their force. Yeah, the Empire now was tangible. It wasn't just some guy in a throne room puppet stringing. It was actually, he already set it in play, and now the grunts will do his heavy lifting. Great show. I'm really looking forward to the second season. I hear that they're actually filming it right now, so nice. It won't be apparently for a year, maybe a year and a half. I will be on the edge of my seats waiting for it. Edge of my seat, waiting for it and anticipating it. And yeah, it's put a smile on my face. I'm looking forward. As soon as I throw this out there, I'm starting it from episode 1, and I'm going to enjoy it as a binge. I want to see how it plays without the breaks. Anyways, that's what's going on behind the patch this morning. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a fantastic day.